Hello, Serge here from the back porch. Clipboard, we have a question. This one is from Fred, and Fred says, banana balls. My drives start out straight at my aiming point, but at the 100-yard mark they take a sharp turn to the right and land 30 to 40 yards right of my intended target line. My playing partner says instead of taking the club back into the sacred burial ground, I am pushing the club away from my body. The resulting outside to inside swing path produces a banana slice, or a banana ball slice. How do I keep my backswing straight back? Okay, let's see if we can't identify a few of the issues here and give Fred the answer that he's looking for. All right, first off, let's demonstrate what Fred is doing, and then therefore tell you what I think is causing his big problem. All right. I'm doing this from a right-handed view because being a right-handed player, I can do it best. Aiming line, toe line. So I'm addressing the ball parallel left of my aiming line. Now Fred says that he's pushing the club away outside the line instead of coming backward into the sacred burial ground. So I'm going to go back to this side now, which now means that's the aiming line. This is the toe line, and sacred burial ground is everything behind the toe line. As I said, whether you want to make it a half of a circle or a square or whatever, the definition of the sacred burial ground is you can stand in it, but if you swing in it, you're dead. And so we know that swinging in here to get back to the aiming line, to hit the ball on square and solid, which is how you hit a relatively straight shot, if you're back in here, you have to get the club back in front of your body, and normally when you're way back deep, you have to have a big turn to come out of it, and that comes over the top. So he's not doing that. So I guess... So what Fred says is that his friend says that he's pushing the club away from the ball. So he's pushing it outside the aiming line. Now, first off, the first issue there is pushing. If the friend says he's pushing and Fred agrees with that, then I have to assume that without a doubt he is pushing the club away. Well, I believe you don't push a club away. You have to use your right side and kind of turn and pull it away. You can't push a string. So I think that's the first issue. Secondly, if the club is going outside the aiming line, it means he's not turning at all. Very likely in pushing it away, his back arm is staying much higher than the front arm, which is putting a tilt on his shoulders. And his shoulders are getting a lower tilt, a reverse tilt, and could be even actually going forward, especially if his left foot is forward foot and his knee is the foot's coming up and the knee's going inward, so he could be reverse tilting very badly. But the key is this: the club in the hands are coming back this way. The palm is coming back with the palm facing the ground, and that means that is absolutely 100% contrary to the rotation that has to happen to make a proper golf swing, because we know that a proper golf swing takeaway into the catcher's mitt is you start to, I use my right side, my right hip and my right shoulder, the square of my body, to set the triangle and in motion, with the concept of the toe always starts first. And so I stand here and my goal is to stop my movement with a little bit of turn, and as you can see, the toe is starting to rotate backward and upward into the catcher's mitt, which is directly right here behind on just maybe an inch inside the aiming line. So when I get to here, I'm rotating this way. Look at the palms are perpendicular. That's secret number 2. Palms perpendicular to the ground throughout the swing. So if you stand and you swing your arms in front of your body, they only swing in front of your body, and as you can see, they're perpendicular to the ground, and they always get back to dead square at 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So that's what creates the second secret. So anytime you swing your arms in front of your body, if you let them rotate properly, they will always revert back to and rotate back to dead perpendicular to the ground, which at the same time will be perpendicular to your body, and if you're standing up parallel of your aiming line, they'll be perpendicular to your aiming line. So you have the 3 perpendicular relationship of target for the club face and your hands. If you start with a square club face, meaning the club face is to the ground, you'll have square club face to the aiming line, square to the body, and the body, and you have all those square arrangements. So, and it happens naturally every time because they rotate back to there. So what Fred is doing in pushing the club away, he's pushing it away with the palm and the face down. All right? So as he's doing that, the back arm is higher. As I said, he's already likely reverse tilting. And so once he comes up like this, he's outside. He's probably in poor balance, probably falling forward. And even if he took the club back and came back relatively over his toe line, he's still reverse rotated, I guess would be a good way of saying it. So we can't discount the law of physics now that states for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what's going to happen to Fred, I'm going to come back to this side. He takes the club back shut here, and whether he's tilting or he took it back inside, but we know he says he's taking it back outside. So once he comes back here, his club face is shut at the top, and his hands have under-rotated. His palm is down to the ground. What is down is going to come into impact and go the other way. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So again, from this view, you can see that if I come back this way, it's going to definitely, very likely, loop inside here and come in and come wide open. Come back through wide open to impact here to wide open. And so if he does catch the club on, basically on line, but the club is opening up, the ball can start on line, but then after that, it is going to do some serious slicing to the right. So the answer, Fred, is to think about standing here, and you're going to use your right side, your square of your body, to turn the triangle and set the club in motion first, and you're going to rotate back this way. The drills I teach for that would be is what I call two issues. Takeaways on the line. Now, takeaway on the line means when I stand here, I'm going to bend down a little bit more. I put the club on the center of the line. If your takeaway is now your takeaway, you got the club. You can see the club going from the center of the club, where the heel is going across the line and outside, and you can see it going down. The key is you have to take it, and instead, if you rotate properly, the club starts to rotate, and instead the toe moves to slightly inside the line as you go into the catcher's mitt. Another great drill, and it's what I call, swinging against a wall, the door, the floorboard of a wall. I'm going to just use this right here. If you're pushing the club away from the wall, say you're addressing the club right here and this is the floorboard at the base of the wall, and you're standing in your perfect posture. Well, if you're trying to push the club out, you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. So the only thing you can do is, if you rotate properly, the club immediately starts to come off the wall. The toe immediately starts to come off as it starts to rotate upward. That is really great, because you cannot push that club through the wall. And that's exactly what you'd be doing if you're standing here and going outside. That wall comes all the way up here. Your club would have to go through the wall. So you might really want to start with the toe on the wall, because you can't push it through. It'll teach you that you're going to have to rotate. The club should start to slide off the wall, and as you rotate into the catcher's mitt, and then start lifting it up to tree. So those two drills will really help. Takeaways on the line, and most importantly, the toe on the wall. And then practice your swing into the mitt and lifting the club up to tree. And so once you come back this with your hands rotating properly, they rotate back to dead square at impact, and you should start hitting the ball more solid and straight. Well, that's it from the Surge from the back porch, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.